Okay, okay. So I know that. So Stellar Blade, Evie, right? Evie, the character, she came out and everything like that, right? And then Twitter is getting mad or so that literally straight up like they think she's a child and they think like the character is like pedo bait, which is number one the most stupidest thing in the entire world. Okay, all right, okay. The funny thing, the duality, because someone told me in chat, the duality of the fucking gamers. Well, not really gamers, the people on fucking Twitter or so, right? People hate the girl from the God of War game, right? Because she's too old, right? And then people are hating Evie because she looks way too young. I'm gonna break your fucking immersion for a second there. As someone who is mixed race or so, I literally get confused as a younger person. Wow, shocker, right? Wow, if you really take care of yourself, take care of your skin, and you watch out what you eat and all this other shit, you could probably look young as well. I'm so fucking shocked. Yes, like literally, people are literally getting mad and complaining about that Evie looks like a fucking child, and then people are saying that she's pedo baiting, and I'm just like, you actually can't be serious, right? You do know that there are people who do actually look younger, so especially in the Eastern Asian market, where literally straight up, a lot of the people look pretty young because they actually take care of themselves. You know, I'm just saying, people crash for characters not for being gooning material. People crashing for characters when it's not gooning material, brother. Like, I'd rather have the character be gooning material, and that's it, basically. Okay, like, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like, I want a girl to be gooning material. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you, like straight up. The only reason why, shit, I watch futanari porn anyway, so shit. I'm like, shit. I'm like, fuck, I ain't gonna beat around the bush. Shit, I like it when the girls start fucking each other too, shit. That's my favorite thing that I like to enjoy watching. But even then, on top of that, I'm like, brother, Eastern Asian people are just like fucking, they just look good overall because they take care of themselves at the end of the day. I'm like, there's a whole difference between like the Western side and the Eastern Asian side. I'm like, it's pretty fucking obvious. But I'd be curious to see what other shit has been happening too as well. Let's see what's going on here. Is there like other shit that's been happening that I've not been keeping up? Like I said, I'm not terminally online. Oh yeah, also at the same time, these people who are literally hating on Eevee are actually racist, to be frankly honest, because they're literally hating on Asian people. They're just literally just straight up hate them because the way how they look. And the funny thing about it, the Western side started that movement or so to literally say that they really like stop the Asian hate thing, but they're the ones who actually hate the Asians to begin with. That's fucking crazy to be hearing that. The people who are trying to be progressive and be diverse and all this other shit are literally the ones that are like just straight up just the racist ones, to be honest. I'm just saying there's no win-win. No matter what, people will bitch about something. Miss the old days when gaming convos was not this bad. This is the problem. This is the problem when you have, I'm gonna take the words from Asmongold. When you let a swamp hag, or when you let that person who literally was supposed to be, milking cows, working on a farm, basically working in the mines, when you let them specifically have the internet, that's basically is what happens. They just become crazy, and then they also start hating for no apparent reason. And we all know for a fact that those people who are complaining about people who look really good in video games, which, number one, right, it's a video game. It's not fucking real to begin with, okay? All right? It's supposed to transport you into a world of fantasy, okay? All right? I'll be honest with you. Those people who are straight up complaining on those are probably the ugly ones with the anime profile pictures. That's all I have to say. The crazy shit I've heard that Asians are white adjacent, so some people can justify being racist towards Asian. Wait, what? They think they're white adjacent? That's wild to hear that. That's actually pretty crazy to hear that. There's no win-win but true. Win is where every side net your more money. I'm like, at the end of the day, sex sells. You know, sex just sells, okay? I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm not gonna goon out to one of the characters from Concord.
There's a new Stellar Blade game that's coming out. I'm sure everyone's excited.
Circle Line train bound for Nexus sector is now arriving. Exit before boarding.
This is R&B music. So it looks really good, right? Very grunge, very cyberpunky.
The new Stellar Blade gameplay looks cool, but also the new protagonist's design feels like you're looking at a child's face in an adult body.
This is what he thinks a child looks like?
This gets
That's
even
crazy.
weirder when the team continues to pose the body and put the camera in positions to focus on her butt with jiggle physics.
Stop
Sounds
the
like he's
Asian
liking
hate.
the game.
Let me also burst your bubble here. As someone who is mixed race, okay, as someone who's mixed race, and my mom is also too as well, she also gets confused of being young as well. They confuse my mom of thinking that she is young, but she's not young. They confuse me of being young, but I'm not young, okay? Shocker, isn't it, huh? Very shocking, huh?
The way he's describing it and trying to make it seem as though he doesn't. You know those people that are like, ugh, ew, I can't believe you'd post something like that.
I hate,
Disgusting.
honestly, the Western
How
side
could they
is,
do something like this?
I don't know.
And it's almost like the idea of it being wrong or immoral in their eyes is
Look,
what
don't get me wrong, you know, I love my Western audiences, but fucking A, dude, you guys give me reasons to hate you guys more and more almost every single day. I don't, like I said, there's always this saying or so, right? If it does not apply to you, you let it fly. And if you're getting mad at me for my opinion for that, that means it does apply to you. And go get out of the fucking house and go touch grass.
gets them off or something. That's probably why they make posts like that.
I absolutely hate the protagonist design in that Stellar Blade game.
And there's
my
absolutely
lord.
nothing wrong with that. Everybody has their preferences, right? It does seem to have that Final Fantasy grunge style to it.
The actual world looks grimy and rad and full of a great design work, but she's just an over-designed, skin-tight plug suit with a baby face and an adult woman.
What in the almighty racism? Like, seriously, you all need to get out more or something, because either you've never met other Asian people before, or you're just downright ignorant and racist. I know this is like a foreign concept to some people, but there are a lot of other ethnicities outside the Western Hemisphere, in Hispanic cultures, African countries.
Brother, look, Alti, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if you like covered the topic or so of the Genshin Impact part. Literally, they said straight up, brown people don't exist. It's only black people, okay? All right? Brown is literally not part of their color palette. It's either white or black, okay? Fucking Twitter was having a field day when freaking, what's the name? Notlin came out, and some of the characters were like more pale skinned. Shocker, but a lot of Hispanics are not black, okay? All right? We got a mix of color skin tones, okay? We literally have white skin tone for Hispanics. We have brown skin tones. We have tan line skin tones. We have dark skin as well. I'm like, we have almost every fucking shade, okay? There's also some Hispanics that fucking make babies with Asian people, okay? And then you have the Hispanic Asians, which is the yellow and brown combination, okay? All right? It's pretty fucking common, all right? But I swear to God, dude, people on Twitter were fucking pissed off or so that they were not black. That's all I gotta say. Those are the only colors they fucking see. It's just straight up just black and white. That's all they fucking see, dude. That's how you know they're racist, okay? All right? That's just point and blank.
Asian countries, like East Asian, that look younger and don't age like milk like a lot of Westerners do. It just is what it is. And if you're one of those gray back old people that sees a child's face in every Asian woman, then maybe you need to check yourself and take some inventory and wonder why that is. Like, if the first thing you look at when you see an Asian woman is a child, something is wrong with you. That's what's weird and creepy. It's projection of the highest order. And it's
all I have to say is that people who actually think like this are the ones you should probably check their hard drives, to be honest. I'm just saying. You should probably look into their phones. They should be on the watch list. Compared to like someone as yours truly, who is a lolicon and a shotacon enjoyer, right? I look at Evie as like just a normal like adult 20-year-old. That's all I really see, to be frankly honest. Like that's it. That's just it. Even then, she's just I assume, I don't know. Well, I'm not too sure, so I'm just kind of like speculating or so that she's an android, the same as like Eve from the original Stellar Blade.
Extremely rude. It's like these
And I
people
assume
don't
it's
get the
based off an actual
concept
person
of
too, as
someone
well.
who is petite or someone who is Asian. I'm not saying every Asian woman looks like this, but there are a considerable amount of them that around their age, where you'd probably look like you're 50 years old because you're drinking and you raisin up in the sun, they don't do that. Maybe that makes some of you salty, but you know what? That's a you problem. The other thing that
And
people
even then, on top of that, they also the beauty standards in the Eastern Asian is completely different from the Western side, where small and petite equals more attractive compared to the Western side. I guess like thicker and like, you know, plump or so just is not very attractive, you know? Or I wouldn't say that or so. I'd say more like when it comes to Western side or so, it's more like I guess fat acceptance, and fucking make every guy, not every guy, every girl look androgynous to a guy, or just make them look very manly for no apparent reason, you know? And they think that like every lesbian is like a butch lesbian, it's like a muscular butch lesbian. Bitch, I'll be honest with you, if I was 100% lesbian, I'm not gonna be a fucking butch fucking girl, okay? All right, that's all I gotta say, okay? I am not a fan of muscular women, okay? I will say it here, not my cup of tea, okay? That's all I have to say about it. I think muscles on a guy is more attractive than it is on a female, okay? Like I said, this is my personal taste. I know there are some guys who like muscle women. Not my cup of tea. That's all I have to say about it.
in the West tend to do is they'll look at people who are short or petite structure, and then they'll say that they look like children. A lady came up to me one time, and I guess she meant it as a compliment or something, but she told me I basically look like a 12-year-old child. She didn't say it rudely, and I know she didn't mean it to be mean, but it can come off as extremely insulting to some people. You know, like, it just, I don't know. This is a weird take. And they only do this with the games that come out of Korea or China, which is extremely concerning to me. Like, it makes me wonder, are they really, are these the same people that were saying, oh my God, guys, you shouldn't hate Asian people, this is wrong. Well, this is one of those, what do they call them again? Microaggressions. Yeah, this is one of these microaggressions that they talk about. You saying that a woman has a baby face on a woman's body when she's of a different ethnicity, that is probably one of those situations that you need to sit down with your friends and be like, okay, you know what, let's go out there and look at other Asian women around the same age. And to me, she looks like a person who is in her 20s as an Asian person with a little bit more fat in her face. Maybe that's the reason it looks uncanny to people, because a person like her would usually have a little bit more meat on her body with that kind of face. But there's nothing about her face that tells me she looks like a child. Maybe her haircut also makes her look a little younger. I know, like, when we have short hair, it tends to like make, you know, women tend to look a little younger when they have short hair. Unless you're built like a brick, and then it does the complete opposite. Wait till they actually meet Korean women in real life. And I know that there's some people who might be saying, like I said, not everyone looks like that, but a considerable amount of them at a certain age do, especially if they take very good care of their skin, they have surgery, whatever the case is. Makeup does that too. And don't sit up here and criticize other people about, oh, baby face, when a lot of you women out there put on makeup with blush and layers of foundation to make yourselves look 20 years younger than you actually look without the makeup. Because if that—
all I have to say is, if you put that much amount of makeup on, I hope the person that you're sleeping with has drank at least more than 20 beers, because man, dude, all I gotta say is they're gonna wake up to something, all right? It'll be their nightmare. Like I said, like personally, like my mom does like very minimal makeup and she still looks fine or so. Same thing. Like the only time we ever like use makeup or anything like that is only doing it for a special occasion. That is it, you know. When my sister was getting married, when I was getting a quinceañera, when my sister was getting a quinceañera, when my older brother was getting a quinceañero, you know? That's literally it. That is the only time we ever put makeup on. But we don't like for us specifically, we don't put on the makeup. My mom gets a professional to do the makeup because she knows a friend. That's the reason why. There's a difference. So I'm just saying. Like, even then, I still think, personally, if you take care of yourself, here's a tidbit or so. If you actually take care of yourself, you take care of your skin, not go like full extreme Eastern Asian, okay? Just fucking do like at least like a good amount. You will look fine, okay? You will look great without the makeup on, okay? That's all I have to say about it. Why do I say that? Because take a yours truly or so. Because I get mistaken as someone young, okay? And let me remind you this, okay? When I became an adult on this side of the dimension, right? After high school, okay? Right? So I was literally like in the workforce. The police literally straight up stopped me on the side of the road, right? Near a school. And they think I was skipping school, so they had to take me to school until they found out that I did not belong to that school. So they thought that I was skipping school, which I was not part of that school whatsoever. And then they took me to that school, and then they literally said, "Hey, we got this kid, quotation marks, kid, stealing, not stealing, I mean, skipping school." And then they found out that I was not part of that school. So just letting you remind you to all of you guys that, yeah, you can look young as long as you take care of themselves. Gen Z, I'm going to be honest with, not everyone in Gen Z, but a good majority of Gen Zers are aging like milk. Okay? They're aging like expired milk. While literally people in the millennial stages are literally, some of them, like a good majority of them, are literally looking younger than Gen Zers. And Gen Zers are looking way older than millennials. I'm just saying, you know?
That is really a problem for you, then you wouldn't be trying to make yourself look younger and compete with the people that are 20 years younger than you that you still can't compete with despite how much makeup you put on your face. Let's just be real here for a second. That being said, maybe if you weren't gunking layers of makeup on your face, your skin would look a little bit better and get time to breathe, and you probably wouldn't age as fast being 30 something years
Facts.
old looking like you're 50. I don't know why this is such a weird concept for some people unless they've never left their mom's basement. Someone said, for a random example of which there are thousands, Park Yoon Bin is 33 and looks the same age in her brand new recent series. Stop your ideology-based politics and get some help. It's time to let people look different than you safely and to adjust your understanding of what an adult can look like. And this person said it very eloquently. As an example, this is a tribe of people from Africa called the Khoisan. They are believed to be like one of the oldest people in the world. And there's also a theory that, well, we know that a lot of Homo sapiens migrated out of Africa, but don't they look a lot like East Asians? Or actually, don't East Asians look a lot like them? And if you notice, every single one of these people I'm showing you from this tribe, they are adults, full adult people. And because of your Western idea of what people look like, to you, this person might look like she's a 12-year-old or 13-year-old when she's in her mid-20s. And not for nothing, but I think it's also a testament of how horribly people take care of themselves in this country. Like, I'm actually shocked. Like, half the people I've met in this country, they look way older than people from my country at the same age. And I'm just
Like, there's no problem of hag maxing and everything like that. The problem is when they can't differentiate a person who's literally in their 20s, right? In their 20s, and they call them a child. It's like, if that's the first thing that comes into your mind, you need to go out and see more people. That literally says a lot about you, that you have no social life. Like, you have zero. That's the crazy thing about it. Because I don't have a social life anymore, right? Not anymore, right? I don't really go out and talk to people, right? I haven't really like communicated with anybody out here where I live specifically. But the funny thing about it, right? Even I know that there are people who look like young or so, even though they're older, because they take care of themselves. That's the difference. I know the different kinds of like faces. The baby face for the guys, the baby face for the girls, you know, I've seen them all. I've interacted with all of them.
Like, damn, you're in your 20s? Shit. Like, maybe it's smoking and drinking or something, but then the people in my country, a lot of the men, even though they're rugged, they're smoking and stuff since they're in their 20s because they're doing construction or they're fishermen or whatever the case is. And they still look like 20 years younger than some of the people I see in this country that are their same age, doing other stuff and not even smoking and drinking as heavily as they are. It's ethnicity based. And the more you go out there, the more you realize. Like, I traveled here, I moved here, and I realized, oh, okay, yeah, people look very different. Ages look different on different people, and that's okay. Men that still have their full head of hair, like my uncle does, you know, into their older middle age, they look younger than people who are bald. Most of the time. It is what it is. Also, this is stylized in such a way that it kind of resembles anime. So it rides this fine line, just like Final Fantasy, between being kind of like cartoonish and realistic. So naturally, the girls are going to have more feminine and smooth, innocent looking features. Not a child, but still.
Well, even then, on top of that, the game is based off in Korea, South Korea, anyways, and we all know what kind of characters they always make when it comes to South Korea. I'm like, take a look at most of their MMO style games. At the end of the day, when every single woman's, you know, they all share the same formula. And even then, I assume at least this specific character in the Stellar Blade game or so is probably based off somebody, just how they based off the first original game from an actual like modeler. So it's probably based on somebody. I don't know who it actually is, but it is probably based on somebody. I'm taking from this is that they should have made the MC black and to avoid people crashing out. No, because they're gonna be saying that looks like a child.
Women so that they look more marketable or whatever and more cartoony. And the men are more, what do you call it? Not hard. That sounds nasty. Not nasty. You know what I mean? The men look more jacked, like this guy, right? He looks more jacked up. They look more animated, for want of a better word, or dramatized, because they look really cool and badass and whatever. And most normal men don't look like this. If some guy tried to look like Cloud from Final Fantasy with his hair type and everything, they would look really stupid. I've seen people trying to cosplay as him, and it's cute, but when they try to put the wig on him on a normal human being's face, it just looks really weird. It looks more uncanny, because that kind of hair and style only works with someone who is somewhat illustrated. Now, these pictures are a bit blurry, and no shade to these people, because I know that, you know, they're trying their best, but it just looks weird. It looks very goofy with them trying to do the same style and hair and stuff on a real human person. It just doesn't fit. So, you know, I thought all of that was common sense. And whatever internalized Skittle eating issues people have that they're seeing kids in everything, you should probably get that checked out.
Yeah, to be honest. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how these guys are like crashing out over literally one character. I knew for a fact that they were gonna crash out, but you know what's funnier? So I said this. I don't know which specific stream it was, but that one game where like that person was like fighting a bunch of like black shadowy monsters or so, where that one British cop guy started singing Jamaican songs, but he was a white guy though. You're just kind of like, I'm like, where's the social justice, you know, defender police squad, you know? Where are they at? Shouldn't the Jamaican song be sang by a Jamaican black guy instead of a white British guy? I'm just saying, but no, they started getting angry or so over the new Stellar Blade game, which I'm not surprised whatsoever. Of course, these people will always get mad all the time, and then they'll call the people specifically who are like, you know, who are gooning to these other characters are gonna be saying, oh, you're just a gooner, blah 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 blah, and I'm just kind of like, okay, you're also a gooner too, because at the end of the day, you're taking your time out of your day to comment on a post to something that literally that you hate. I'm just saying, you hate the post, but we all know for a fact you don't hate the post. The funny thing about it too as well, this is what one of my teachers told me back a long time ago. When a boy is picking on a girl and quote unquote hates her or something like that, it means that the boy likes her. Same thing, the opposite gender. If the girl is picking on the boy, that means the girl likes the boy, okay? So these people who are literally complaining and getting mad on Eevee's like design and everything like that, in actuality, those are the people that are probably just watching their Rule 34 stuff on them. I'm just saying, okay? They actually do like the character, but they like to fucking follow the trend or so, because at the end of the day, for some apparent reason, you can monetize your post on Twitter, so that's probably what they're doing. So anyways, that's all I gotta say about that. So all these people literally are just hating for trending. They're just chasing a trend to hate. I really don't care, because at the end of the day, like I said, I just don't personally care. So, but anyways, I'll wait for the Rule 34 for Eevee at the end of the day. So can't wait to see an Eevee and Stellar Blade having a threesome with Raven from Stellar Blade. So that'll be something. But anyways, that'll be the end of the video. And peace.